I-36M was demanded a prenup from my partner 32F at the last minute. So me and my partner are long distance, I'm in the UK. She's in the USA. We've been together for over 4 years and we agreed that I would move over there for a number of reasons. So in the UK I have a great career in professional sports, I live in an upscale area and have a great prospects. We recently filed for a K1 visa for myself which was approved in record time. Part of the reason we went for a K1 visa is because although I work as a performance chef in pro soccer, USA immigration does not count it as skilled labor, while I know I have 2 degrees. And otherwise the conditions for a chef visa are unassailable for most people. So my visa got approved and suddenly my partner demands a prenup. The issue is that beforehand I was leaving my job, my home, my family and friends. I was giving up a state pension pot I've paid into for over 20 years but I needed to pay for 35 years to qualify for a payout. We are talking over $300,000 as of right now and $700,000 at retirement. I was also in the process of spending the majority of my life savings to get myself and my possessions over there. Turns out it's an expensive endeavor. I was making all those sacrifices as I just wanted to start a new life with her. She then starts talking about she needs to protect the money she earns. She quoted her pension even though she's only been in the job 6 months. Keep in mind I'm sacrificing a 20-year contribution. I felt like this was a slap in the face considering what I was sacrificing and a prenup would only favor her since I was burning the majority of my own assets just to be with her. She even talked about marriage like a business contract and I explained that if I'm putting in 85% equity as a risk and the other party then decided last minute they want lawyers to reduce their own risk to 0%, why would any business agree to that? She started talking about how the statistics mean divorce could be likely. She says we should talk about divorce because it's healthy to do so even though we haven't got married yet. Is this an American thing? Seems like that contributes to the USA having one of highest divorce rates in the world. I hated the fact that I was taking a substantial financial hit and it wasn't reciprocated because it was never about the money for me and now she's making it about money. I had a discussion with her and it just seems like she doesn't understand that I'm supposed to make a life-changing leap of faith, that if it went wrong could land myself deported, jobless, homeless and penniless while she has no risk or consequences for her. She would literally lose nothing while I could lose everything. She doesn't seem to understand how that can make a person hesitant as she brought it up. Right at the point I got accepted for a visa, when I put all my trust with her, no questions and then this prenup demand doesn't make me feel like I'm trusted in return. She's telling me it isn't that deep like the sacrifices I've been prepared to make mean nothing. I just want to know people's thoughts on this. I would take a hard pass on this situation. You're giving up way too much for her to do this. I mean you're giving up a lot and basically starting from scratch here. Ask her to reverse it? Would she move to UK? Use all the money she has to do so, lose her pension, but have absolutely zero security if you were to divorce? My partner moved countries for me. To ensure he felt comfortable and secure I assured him that I would be able to take care of us if need be, because I recognized how vulnerable he was ultimately making himself and I wanted him to feel as much safety as he could whilst navigating everything else involved in moving country. Your girlfriend is doing the opposite. I would not move under those conditions. I would be rethinking how well I knew the person, actually. Edit to add I am American. This is not an American thing, in my opinion. Who did she vote for? Cheeky smiley face. A prenup is great as a means of protection for both parties if they're on even footing. Considering it only favors her and she's literally saying divorce is likely, why even bother? Don't get married and cut out the middleman. Don't move to the US, don't give up your job. Keep putting into your pension. Find someone in the UK. Have you even met her? No, she's a real person? No, she's not scamming you, besides this odd ordeal? She's saying it isn't that deep? That's not cool, location flag. I, 29F, am disappointed boyfriend, 36M, is going to a destination wedding as another girl's +1. My boyfriend was invited to a destination wedding as a +1. The wedding is a 6+ hour flight away. The girl who invited him as her +1 is someone he slept with, years ago. But he swears they're just friends, now. He said they've hung out, traveled together and slept in the same bed together more recently as 2023, but they never felt the desire to touch each other. We've been together nearly a year and I don't remember him mentioning her, though they've known each other for over a decade. So he said yes to attending the wedding. I feel super uncomfortable about the situation. I told my boyfriend how I felt, and he made it seem like I was crazy for asking him for more details about this girl and the wedding. What are your thoughts on the situation? Who the hell brings someone else's boyfriend as a +1 to a wedding? What's even crazier is that he accepted. There is nothing innocent about this. Your partner told you they're going to a destination wedding with someone they've slept with before. They didn't ask for your blessing. They decided that they're going to do this, despite the impact to your relationship. I wouldn't settle for a relationship where my partner elevated a past fling over my security. My friend, F, went as a +1 with one of our other friends, M, to a wedding while she was still with her boyfriend. I know they had a twin room and I believe her that nothing happened, but everyone who knew found it very weird at the time. Very shortly afterwards she broke up with her boyfriend and is now married to the guy who she went to the wedding with. Do with that information what you wish. How are you okay with that? It almost looks like he's having a side relationship right in front of your eyes and then gaslighting you. Men and women are horny, why wouldn't she take one of her girlfriends? Everyone knows how plausible deniability works. But why let it get to that point? Nope, time for a new boyfriend. The fact that he would consider going on a trip to a wedding as someone whom he used to sleep with date is a reason to question the relationship. Find someone to devote your time and fidelity to who makes you his only choice. I have literally zero doubt that he's gonna sleep with her. I do believe there's a way for men and women to be friends, but I've also worked at weddings. People hook up in the bathroom because of the vibes of a wedding. Add to that the fact that he's making this about you being crazy? Girl, nope. Every argument my husband, 48 male, and I, 47 female, have is my fault. My husband, 48, and I, 47, mostly have a good relationship. We don't have kids, we both have good jobs and travel often. I just can't figure out this one thing that really upsets me. Literally whenever we argue or fight, it is always him getting mad at me for something he thinks I've done or not done. Sure, I get angry, upset with him, but my nature is not to fight. I work it out in my head or think about the situation and try to give him some grace. Of course, I'm not perfect, but mostly I try to work through it rather than confront him about most of it because I don't find it helpful. All that to say, yes, he has faults and I get angry, but I'm not constantly confronting him about it and getting into arguments. He, on the other hand, does not do that, which makes it seem like the only time we actually argue is when he is telling me something I've done it wrong, I've done something to upset him. I don't even know if that makes any sense, but it is starting to wear on me. I feel like he's always pointing out things I've screwed up or things he's perceived that I've done to him. For example, recently we had some snowfall that required a little bit of shoveling. He got dressed and ready to go out and shovel without saying anything to me, so I also got dressed and went out. He was already shoveling when I got outside and asked him how I could help, and he got immediately angry with me, saying that I should have already been doing something and not waiting for him to come out and do it. That I should have anticipated shoveling and that I only came out after I saw him getting dressed. That I never anticipate things and I think I'm a princess who doesn't have to do anything. I replied that I absolutely do not think I'm a princess and that everything has to be done for me, that I was there helping him. He kept going on and on about how I don't ever anticipate things and do things to help him out, which upset me because I do a lot of things that I consider helping him out, like cleaning the house, doing laundry, grocery shopping, etc. I asked him if he ever anticipated vacuuming or doing a load of laundry to help me out. That I do plenty of things that I would love help with, but I decide not to get angry about it or say anything because it's not productive. That may have been a low blow, but I was upset. I just feel like there are times when I could lash out and get mad at him for the exact same reason, but I don't, because he is a person who has flaws and getting mad at someone for not anticipating needing help with something is ridiculous to me. So the result of me not ever really getting angry is that he is allowed to get angry and ridicule me, and literally every argument we have is him lashing out at me for something. It's exhausting and I don't know what to do. How can I fix this? I am open to that, but I have no clue how to go about fixing it if so. I don't even know where to start. You can't fix your husband being an asshole. He's the princess. I'm embarrassed for him. He's acting all wounded because you didn't help. Start helping before he did? Does that mean he was waiting to see if you would start before he did? This is the behavior of a petulant child. People in successful relationships do not test each other. It's toxic as hell and unhelpful to expect somebody to pass a test they don't know they're taking. A grown-up would have said, "Are you ready to tackle the snow? Do you want to shovel or do the snowblower? Do you see how easy that was?" He's spoiling for a fight. He sounds like a verbally abusive asshole. He's only allowed to ridicule you if you allow it. Walk away when he does this next. Marriage counseling is a good idea. The snow story is absurd, what a jerk. It snowed the other day and my boyfriend walked to my house to shovel my sidewalks and driveway so me and my roommates didn't have to. Your husband is acting like an asshole and you guys need therapy to help you communicate. This is typical narcissist behavior. In his eyes you do everything wrong and he does nothing wrong at all. He is wrong. It's manipulation. He's now making you question your sanity. He's gaslighting you, hun. He's trying to teach you to do things his way or in his favor. You should have been out there shoveling snow? Peeved. No darling, I'll bet you do all the housework. Your husband can shovel the snow a few times each winter. And let's be clear about one more thing. He lacks communication. He expected you to either read his mind or get up and do that chore yourself by default. He sounds like a massive pig. My boyfriend, 28M, said he would leave me, 24F, if I couldn't have kids. My boyfriend and I, been together 6 months, both want kids very badly, and I've expressed to him that one of my biggest fears is being infertile. He said he would never want to adopt and never want to go to AS Bank. I asked him what he would do if we couldn't have kids in any way, like nothing worked. He said he would leave me and he would expect me to want to do the same because we both deserve what we want in life. I'm sorry, but is that not incredibly hurtful? How would this make you feel? I'm looking for male and female perspectives on this situation. I feel like he doesn't truly love me and that I'm disposable, if that makes sense. Anyone else feel like they would feel this way? As a woman, I appreciate him telling you the truth. He's being completely honest. Hurtful? Sure, but wouldn't you rather know now than later? If he didn't want kids, wouldn't you rather know now than later? Would you stick around if it turns out he can't have kids? Right or wrong, kids tend to be the ultimate deal breaker. I mean, sure, it might feel bad to hear, but it's the truth. You asked him, and he told you. It's only been 6 months. This is exactly the time you talk about this stuff and figure out if you're actually compatible past the honeymoon phase. Now you have the info to make an informed decision about continuing to date him, or not. Do you want to be with someone who would leave you if you were infertile? You've only been with him for 6 months. You're allowed to feel hurt by this, and he's allowed to want what he wants. Personally, I think I'd feel a lot of pressure knowing he'd leave if I can't get pregnant. What happens if you have a miscarriage? It's common and traumatic. Will he comfort you or be ready to pack his bags? Stress can also make it difficult to have a baby. I'm not you, but you're still young and can find someone who will stick by your side. Of course, you can get yourself checked out to see if your body is capable to put your mind to rest, but some things people say can't be taken back. He has a right to feel how he feels, but it's still harmful. My finance wants bio kids really bad, but if my body struggled, he would rather do IVF, surrogate, adopt if it meant the difference between us being together or not. He loves me more than he loves the idea of his hypothetical children. I hope you're able to find a man who feels the same. These are the conversations you are supposed to have before marriage, not after. You want to marry a man who is willing to live out his marriage vows, and if you turn out to not be able to have kids, he would be willing to alter course, grieve and adjust with you, not without you. I had some neighbors who tried for 20 years of marriage to have a child but couldn't. It could have been a simple fix, but neither of them would have any tests done because they both agreed that they didn't want to risk destroying their marriage by finding out who was to blame. After 20 years they adopted a newborn baby, hours old, who is now a teenager. Very happy ending for them both. Yes, someone can love you and leave you.